Back to Adaptive. In this video, I'm going to cover a very useful tip on how to get your voice into your AI of choice. And it's very, very simple. So in this brief example, probably would be using longer writing, but that's fine. If you read this prompt, these are 4 examples of my actual writing. Help me to develop a style guide that I can put in instruction for Claude, so you can write in my voice whenever I ask for assistance writing. Ask questions until you have what you need to provide me with the instructions. I should paste into instructions for Claude settings text box. Now, if you're using ChatGPT, it's going to be in a different place, and the same goes for Gemini Pro, but they all have areas to be able to put instructions that will be used every time that you chat with your AI, so AI model of choice. So we add that, and then we have sample 1, sample 2, 3, 4, and so forth. So what are you going to do? You're going to pull your writing. So for instance, email is one of the easiest places to pull that, unless you're one of these people who are a writer, which is great, or a marketing person, where you would pull from whatever those sources are. But for many people out there, email is one of the easiest ways to pull this in. So go find a number of emails from your sent items, for instance, and grab examples of those, and then you would paste into these different areas. You might also, if you're marketing, like I'm showing in this instance, you put LinkedIn, put an email, put Instagram in here, a website bio, etc., where that you've written, and it will get the different styles from those. So the idea here is to provide it with a pretty broad broad list of writings that you've done, so it can learn your style. So once I did that, you won't see it here, but it popped up and asked me a series of questions, such as, do you want to have a guide for each different type of medium? For instance, LinkedIn, email, Instagram, and website, or would you like just one unified? I said one unified. It then asked if I wanted to use em dashes. Em dashes are those double dashes that we all hate, and we all know it's AI immediately. I said no. It then asked me if I wanted emojis, or in what circumstances, or how often to use. And I said, no, I don't want emojis either. I want to put those in if I want them. So then here's what it's pulled right here from the styles: short, punchy, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Here's the question. So those I already went through, as you can see. So it said, got it. That's everything I need. And you can see from this, I caught one. Well, there was one like emoji / image icon in there. And it said, since you didn't want it, it won't use it. Perfect. It told me where to go, and it gave me this area here. If you look through, it talks about how, based upon the examples I provided, right, never use em dashes, as I said, plain words over fancy, plain, short, plain sentences, parentheses asides the way I talk, tone. I'm not going to go through all this. You can see hard nose and style that I prefer, and one voice. So what you would do is just grab all this, and you could copy this, and then you go over to your settings. If you look, instructions for Claude. Claude will keep these in mind across chats and co-work. If I paste that in and I were to hit save on this, I'm not going to, because this is not my writing style. I just used it for an example. Then that would be used across all the chats that you do from this point forward, and it will get your style, your writing style. And it's very useful. It's a great way to do it. Now, you can also, in these settings, you could add in some further in there. Some of you may not want that writing style all over. Maybe you want to do different things into every chat. So another thing to do is, I don't want artifacts, I want projects. You can go to project and say Humanizer, right? This humanizes text I paste in or request. Okay, whatever. You could say my voice, I don't care. And then inside of here, you have instructions. And what we could do is paste this in. And I save those instructions. What that would do then, I'll have to look at why that didn't work off this one. But what that would do then is it would, there we go. It's in there that time. Just a little error on Claude's part, or Anthropic having an issue. So those instructions are there now. So that means anytime I use this project and I chat, write a short file for me, it will take from my voice then what I have in there that I've added in and specified and use that. And so that's very useful for those who write. There it goes. And if you look, there's no em dashes, there's no emojis. It looks very normal. And it honored the way that I write. Look at the parentheses are in there, simple words, very simple sentences, straightforward sentences. So there it is. There's the first time that I've written now with my voice, let's say. And now if I want, I can go ahead over here, but I can go right back to the projects and I could go back into here. If I wanted to start another conversation, I can do that, or pick up the last one. So hopefully that's a tip for you if you want your voice and you want it to write in your voice and to sound like you or a human being instead of sounding like an AI. That's a great way to start with. I would still recommend editing it and changing it a little bit, but it'll at least give you 80-90%, if not more, of the way there. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd love for you to go over to YouTube to Adaptive. That's AIDAPTIV. That's my channel. And subscribe so you can be alerted whenever I put new videos out. And if you would go over there and like this video, that helps. Both of those help me out a lot. I would also love to hear from you. Provide a comment. What do you think? Is there a tip, trick that you'd like to know? I look forward to seeing you in the next video.